Hello, hello, hello. I am back from a much needed break and I am ready to tackle a new Naked Monday topic. So, if this is the first time that you are joining me on my channel, my name is Nadia Johnson. I am the indie published author of Remembering June and Remembering June Seasons Change, which are two books that are a part of what will become a four-book series. And I am also the author of Unmasked, which is the first book in what will become a trilogy of books. My current project is Unbridled, which will be the second book after Unmasked. And I think that's pretty much all you need to know about me at this point. Thank you for joining me today on another Naked Monday video. Since I am coming back from a break, let me take a moment to kind of explain to you what my Naked Monday concept is. So, besides the word naked, which can be really controversial if you want it to be, this is a place that I wanted to create this series as a way to connect with my audience in a more candid way and about topics that are on my mind and things that have kind of baffled me, or kind of, maybe not baffled, that might not be the right word, things that have kind of been a struggle for me in my, that's a better word, struggle for me in my creative journey. So I hope that you will stay for the entire video because I have another great topic for you, and it's definitely time to get naked. So let's do it. Let's get naked. So, my topic today is the importance of taking a break. Um, I have noticed in my own creative journey and in the creative journey of others, especially now that there is this common thread running through the community where people are, um, I guess they're struggling with burnout, which is a word that is thrown around a lot. And I think that the reason that we burn out is because we are born into this culture that encourages us to push ourselves beyond our limits, to always stay busy, to always keep the upper hand of the person, either real or imagined, that is on our tail. And what I've come to realize in my own creative journey is that there really is no one chasing me. I'm not being chased. I'm literally not being pursued. And you're not either. And so these fear tactics that have kind of been instilled in us about being productive and about pushing ourselves beyond our limits have become unhealthy. And so people experience burnout and they get they push themselves to the point of exhaustion. And I think it's something that in my own creative journey that I've had to grapple with, and that I have finally figured out what is going to work best for me. So, if you have been watching my videos for a while, you know that through the process of elimination, I have kind of come to my own way of doing things, even if it's not the way that most people would recommend doing a creative career. I have found that for me, that following my own path in some ways is the best thing for me to do. And how I incorporate that into taking a break is I have decided in this new journey that I'm embarking upon with creating a YouTube channel that I will create content for 2 weeks, and then after that I will take a week and kind of push the reset button, because I want this to continue to be exciting. I want to continue to bring my best self to my content, and I don't want to eventually experience the burnout that people talk about so often in our community, because once we burn out, then we end up having to take a break anyway. So why would I push myself to the point of burnout and then have to take a break anyway, which might actually be longer than a break that I've already put into my schedule. So I just want to talk a little bit about how I used to be. So let's get into that. So in my previous creative life, because I'm trying to create a new creative life for myself, I was trying to keep up with what I thought I was supposed to be doing as an indie author. I would watch videos of people who were, successful, who had attained a certain amount of success in their lives and in their careers. And I would sit there and think, oh my God, now how the only way that I can get to where they are is by pushing myself more, which is true. You should always be pushing yourself a little further than what is comfortable for you. But it can also come at the price of your confidence and your ability to create. Because I remember always feeling like I would never measure up. How many of you can relate to not feeling like you measure up to other content creators or other indie authors or other just creatives that you follow and admire? I know that I have felt that way for years. And when I published my first book in 2014, I was of the idea that I just needed to put a book out there. I didn't really have a plan. I didn't really understand that what my capacity was at the time for creating. I thought that, the only way to get me there was for me to work as hard, if not harder, than the people that were already out there. And I'm telling you that that did not work out well for me because I am not built that way. What happened in my beginning attempts to write and to create novels was that I was trying to keep up with the busy schedule of other people and other creators. There were people that had, from their beginning of their career, already created, like, I mean, they had already created so many books. And so for me, I felt like I was already playing catch up. The problem with playing catch up is that you never catch up. There is a reason why they tell you that you can't catch up on sleep, because it's true. Like, once you've lost a certain number of hours of sleep, there's no way for you to really catch up. And so, I began my career comparing myself to all these other people, and it just further whittled away at my confidence. I was not confident in my ability to create a successful career. And so it stopped me from creating a YouTube channel, from really marketing myself, from really putting myself out there, because I felt like I could not measure up to what was already there. But once I began to realize what my um, version of working towards my goal is, my life became a lot easier. It wasn't until one of my long extended breaks that it started to click for me. I hadn't written for a while, and I was probably at one of my lowest points that I had been in in a long time emotionally just spent, and I couldn't create, I couldn't write. I would have this desire to want to sit down in front of the computer, but when it actually came down to writing the words, it was more of a task than it should have been at the time. So what I learned was that I had to stop comparing and start doing. Um, how does that relate to the topic of the importance of taking a break? It was only after I had taken a break and kind of gotten my emotional state together that I realized that I had to stop comparing and had to start actually doing. Um, if you spend your entire creative career, or you have in the past spent your entire creative career just trying to measure up to what you believed you needed to be based off of the content that was already out there, then I'm here to tell you that you are already running a losing race. Um, your race is yours and yours alone. It is not meant to be shared with anyone else. And um, there just comes a point, if you are really serious and you want to monetize this, that you have to stop comparing yourself and just start doing the work. So that's the first point that I would like to express. The second point I would like to make is that you return to the work with a new, renewed sense of purpose and intent. Um, this is something that I only realized after taking a break. Because when I come back to the work, I'm excited again. I want to jump back in. It doesn't feel like a chore. Writing is a chore within itself, but sometimes we can continue to keep trying to push the creative ball up the hill, and we haven't really taken the time to rest or to restore our creative well. So that is the second point that I'd like to make in the importance of taking a break. The third point I'd like to make about the importance of taking a break is it is a time for you to refill the creative well. That looks different for everyone. For me, when this week when I took the time out to take a break, what I did was I did some of the adulting things that kind of like sit to the wayside when you're in a creative space. But I also I read the books, the mini books that I have that are on my TBR. I tend to read multiple books at once, which I know is kind of counterproductive, but don't judge me. Um, and I took the time to read some books. I did want to play video games, but I am beginning to realize that maybe video games aren't a way for me to refill my creative well. Because they take a lot of concentration, and although the stories can be fun to experience, I don't think that it's a adequate way um, to spend my time when I'm trying to or refill the creative well for myself. So, what are some of the things that you do to? I'm interested in this. What are some of the things that you do to refill your creative well when when you basically tapped out and you're experiencing burnout? What are some of the things that you do? So, the fourth point I would like to make in the importance of refilling your creative well is it helps you rearrange and refine your processes. Um, there are some things that we do regularly that we just do because we're kind of on autopilot. And what I have come to realize about, when I take those rest breaks is it helps me to rearrange and refine my processes. It helps me to really look at things, the overall picture of my plan, and it helps me to kind of figure out where I can be more productive and where I can work smarter and not harder. So that is the point that I would like to make with this fourth point in, the time that you're taking, that it should help you to refine and just rearrange your processes because that's important in becoming a more productive person as well as a more productive creative. So there's that. So, my fifth and final point, and probably the most obvious, is rest is just overall a good thing. When you are able to like pull back and just woosah for, however long you need. You may not need a week to reset. And what I'm realizing about myself is I may not need an entire week to reset eventually. But for now, I'm going to go with the week. And as I begin to write more and really immerse myself back into my creative life, maybe that will change because, again, we're going to rearrange and refine our processes. But rest is good. I know that in our culture, we are taught that in order to make huge strides in our careers and in our lives, that we must always be on the go, go, go. But there has to be balance in all of that, and there has to be rest. And I often say this is something that I don't subscribe to. I've never subscribed to that. I think that there is a place for it. And if you are going to do that, and if you are going to be that person that grinds until you grind yourself into the ground, plan for rest because rest is good for you. It is not a bad thing to admit, that you have reached your threshold. It's not a bad thing. I think we need to be more transparent about those things because this isn't this is supposed to be fun. Like, creating is supposed to be fun and exciting, and we're all supposed to be supporting each other in our, not only our physical health but in our mental health as well. And I think it can be very, very detrimental to your mental and your physical health if you are constantly grinding and constantly pushing yourself. So, and I know for me, that's not something that I want to subscribe to. I feel like there is a balance where I can still get the work done and also work in some rest time as well. And so I encourage you to do the same. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that somewhere in something that I said, that it has sparked something in you about the importance of taking a break. I hope that as a creative culture that we can stop beating up on ourselves and we can stop comparing ourselves and we can just realize that no one's work is more important than someone else's. I hope that we realize that rest is not a bad word. I hope that we realize that in creating content, in creating our whatever our creative ventures are, that we are bringing that rest is important for us because it allows us to bring our best selves every time to the table. I've heard many people talk about, how sometimes for them the drudgery of it all can just get to them mentally. And I want this to be your permission slip to take the rest that you need and to really begin showing up as your best self every day. Like I said, you may not need a week break like I am currently taking. But whatever time amount of time that you take, use that to really reset and to refill yourself and to give yourself the opportunity to return to the creative process with a new set of eyes. So, anyway, I guess this can apply to things outside of the creative realm as well, because we all work hard for what we have, and none of us can do that if we are not healthy mentally, physically, emotionally. And I've been there, so I am talking from experience that it is really important for us to show up for ourselves in order for us to be able to show up for those out here that we want to, that we want to touch. So I'm going to end the video there, and I'm going to again thank you for joining me, and please like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. And comment for me down in the comments what you are doing to um to rest and to take a break, and what that looks like for you, because you may have some things that I haven't even thought of, and I'm always open to new ideas. So anyway, this ends this edition of Naked Monday. I'm so excited to be back, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.